Hello, I'm the Greek Geek because I'm 50% Greek and 100% a geek. I decided to watch this movie again because Birds of Prey is coming out later this week, which I am watching this week, and I decided to watch the first live action representation of Harley Quinn. And that is this movie. So, is it as bad as I remember? Short answer is yes.
We got lucky with Superman who shared our values. The next Superman might not.
You're playing with fire, Amanda.
I'm fighting fire with fire.
So after the death of Superman, a lady thinks that she can put together a team to combat the next Superman that rises in case he is evil. So she puts together a team of villains that consists of a crazy lady with a bat, a guy who can shoot good, a drunk Australian with boomerangs, a guy who can climb stuff, a crocodile man thing, and the only guy with a half-decent superpower, a guy that can shoot fire out of his hands. They all team up to combat dancing Cara Delevingne and her giant CGI brother. And the Joker also shows up from time to time to have zero impact on the plot.
Floyd Lawton, aka Deadshot.
So very little time is spent actually establishing all of our characters and telling us what their motivations are and what their personalities are like. Most of them do get a quick introduction, but it's very quick, and a lot of the characters aren't very fleshed out very well. Two of the best ones is Will Smith and Margot Robbie playing Deadshot and Harley Quinn respectively. They did the best performances in the movie, in my opinion. Viola Davis as Amanda Waller as well. She did a good job portraying this bitch who doesn't care about anyone except her job, essentially. She did a very good job at that. And everyone else in the movie is just pretty meh. Like, there's other characters, there's not that much to them, and they don't go through much development. Jay Hernandez's character Diablo, he has an interesting kind of dynamic. He refuses to use his powers at first because of what he's done to his family and to other people that scarred him, and he didn't want to use his powers anymore. Doesn't take much for him to use his powers again or anything like that.
Do something! You wanna see something? Yo, y'all wanna see something? Yes, I wanna see something!
That was the only interesting dynamic with his character, and they don't really do anything else other than that. Everyone else is just pretty meh, and Jared Leto as the Joker, I've actually heard some people say they've enjoyed this interpretation of the Joker. Like, I get what they were going for. They were going for this kind of modern day gangster Joker, and for me, it didn't work, and I didn't like this interpretation at all, and Jared Leto's performance is just strange. Like, I am 100% certain that's what he was going for, but I didn't like his performance in this at all. And I think a lot of people will agree with me.
Come on, man, you're 6'4". She's a tiny little girl.
You got a choice tonight. What we got here? We got chocolate, strawberry, or vanilla.
My job is to keep you alive until you die. Do you understand that?
Spring break!
So the movie goes for a quirky, kind of fun kind of tone, and it fails successfully at that. Like, it does have that kind of tone, but every single joke pretty much in this movie fell flat for me. I didn't find the movie particularly funny, and by God, they were trying. They were trying really hard, and it just wasn't funny. Like, for one example, Jai Courtney's character, Captain Boomerang, he carries around a unicorn with him, a little toy unicorn, and that's the joke. Like, there's nothing else to the joke other than there's this grown man carrying around a baby toy unicorn because that's funny. Yeah, that's the humor in this movie. It really felt like they were going for the same kind of feel as Guardians of the Galaxy, because essentially what DC has been doing is just trying to copy what Marvel's been doing, and they have failed at that, and that includes this movie. They try to go for the same kind of look and feel of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but the characters are nowhere near as good, the jokes are nowhere near as good, the story is nowhere near as good.
It's over, Deadshot. I don't want to do this in front of your daughter.
So I like the idea of the Suicide Squad. It's a very popular comic book series, I believe, and I've seen TV shows and animated movies that include the Suicide Squad, and I enjoy the concept, but this movie does not execute it very well. You have to do very well with the characters, but it didn't do a good job. And I'm confused as to why they're at that facility and not Arkham Asylum. I'm not sure if they explain that in the movie or if I just missed it. If someone could comment below and let me know, I would really appreciate that. I'm not really sure why they're not at Arkham Asylum. I'm pretty sure they mentioned it, but yeah, thank you in advance. And to extend on the DCEU, the consequences of Superman's death, and people are like, well, holy shit, what are we going to do if there's another Superman and he's evil and we won't have anything to stop him? Good plan to try and get some superpowered people to get together and take on threats like that, even though next to none of them would be able to match Superman. Really, only Killer Croc and El Diablo have any kind of powers. Everyone else is just really skilled or is just a crazy person with a bat. And I like that Batfleck has a cameo as well, helps it tie into those other movies. And you get a post-credit scene as well that references Arthur Curry and Barry Allen, who are the Flash and Aquaman. That ties it in well and just makes you think, ah, yes, good. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. Oh shit, okay, go back, we fucked up. Action is enjoyable enough, I guess. There's nothing really mind-blowing or anything. The final fight is just against a CGI monster in a dancing Cara Delevingne. That's okay, I guess, but they fight against these mindless little grunts. I don't even know what they are. They're the creations of the sorceress and they're her minions. They run around trying to kill people unsuccessfully, and everyone just manages to take them out essentially with no trouble. There are some good action scenes as well, like we have that scene with Deadshot towards the beginning where they have all these guns and he has to show them what he can do. That scene in particular I thought was really good. It's a one instance of what this movie could have been. I really enjoyed that scene. The scenes like that are very few and far in between.
Ahora sí, cabrón.
I thought the CGI in this movie was particularly bad. I really don't know if it aged badly in the 4 or 5 years it's been since release, but I thought it was really bad and really unconvincing in a lot of places. But in saying that, they have a few good CGI sequences, like for example, when Enchantress and June, when they're swapping bodies, there's this cool little thing where you can see Enchantress's hands come up between June's and they twist over and she transforms into the Enchantress. That was really good. That was, again, a little drop in a whole ocean of shit. And in the final fight scene between Incubus and the Suicide Squad, you can tell that they're just fighting this giant, slow-moving, sluggish CGI monster, and there's no sense of threat or anything whatsoever. And there is a cool scene where Diablo transforms into his fire avatar. He takes on Incubus and almost beats him, but not quite. I enjoyed that. Even in the cinema watching this years back, I enjoyed that scene. But the fight against Enchantress was pretty lame. Just essentially comes down to them trying to beat her up and she just keeps dodging everyone and kicking their ass. So, could I recommend this movie? Well, it's not good, but it's not completely terrible. Well, actually, yes, it is pretty bad. There's not that much to enjoy from this movie, especially if you're not a DC fan or a comic book or a superhero kind of fan. If you're just a regular moviegoer, this is not really for you. You're probably not going to enjoy yourself very much. I did get a little bit of enjoyment out of this, and I got the little bit I was expecting. So, as always, thank you for listening to me ramble on about a movie for a few minutes. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you again, and I'll catch you next time.